Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. I'm going to call this meeting to order of the Codington County Board of Commissioners. It's Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. Cindy, would you lead us with the pledge today?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. We are streaming live on YouTube, and if you have a cell phone, if you could silence it and step out in the rotunda if you need to take a call. Item number 2, call for public comment. We will take calls from individuals in the public on items that are not on the agenda. The 2 phone numbers are 605-882-6248 and 605-882-6297. We will address those during the open part of our meeting. Item number 3, conflict of interest items. Are there any for fellow commissioners?
None. No.
Item number 4, action to approve the April 19th, 2022 agenda. Motion by Van Duzen, second by Gable. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 5, action to approve the April 12th, 2022 minutes of the Codington County Board of Commissioners. Motion by Johnson,
Second.
second by Gable. Any additions or corrections? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Monthly reports. We'll start with the auditor today.
We are getting very closer to being in election mode. Our ballots have been ordered for the June primary. In Codington County, we will have a Republican ballot and we will have a non-political ballot. The legislature has put a question on the June primary ballot, which is not common. Anyway, that will be on there. There is no Democratic primary ballot in Codington County. So that was the reason I combined the precincts. We're going to start looking for election workers this week and next week into May. Ballots have been ordered. We've been notified that they've been shipped. We are supposed to start voting this Friday if ballots are available. So I assume that we will have them by then. Election or equalization notices have been sent out to the appellants on the county side and the stipulations. So those notices were sent out to those appellants so that if they want to go on to the state level to appeal their assessment, they have that opportunity. And budget worksheets have been sent out to all departments and they are to be back to me in May. I don't have the exact date with me right now, but that's what we are doing other than our normal day-to-day duties.
Busy.
Any questions, comments for Cindy? Okay. Hearing none, let's move on then to facilities manager, Steve.
Morning, Steve.
Morning, Steve. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
There, now I can say it a little better. Good morning. All right. Well, of course, working on some budgets, getting some quotes and estimates in for some projects for next year. One of the biggest project probably is the air chill or the chillers and the boilers and HVAC system. Just did receive back a quote. I was astounded. It's going to blow your mind. So Brad and I will get together of how we're going to do this little thing. It's going to be about 3.5 mil.
Oh, wow.
So going on for that at the detention here at the courthouse, fire extinguishers are in. I'll have the staff be putting them in here in the next week or so. Detention center. There's a toilet, the toilet sanitary system, which is a complete unit. It's a station that has, I believe, the dispenser and everything on it. They have some in the units. One of them went bad. They wanted me to take note that they have to replace it. They got an estimate of around $6,000 for that one unit. And there's also some other ones that are getting of age. So they'll be looking at for those replacements. Events at the extension building are winding down. At the park, staff has started. Of course, the weather has not been very cooperative for working out there. They've been doing some cleanup. They've been splitting some firewood. And then as far as bookings so far, as of last night, $26,054 of revenue so far this year of bookings, with 24 that's called in for reservations and 306 have done it online so far this year. We have now also, they can cancel online reservation. So we have actually 3 reservations that have already been canceled through the system.
How does that work on your cancellation fee?
It's a $10 cancellation fee, and I think we have to work on it. It's supposed to be cancellation fee plus the registration fee supposed to be taken off. So far, the registration fee did not come off those 3, so we'll have to work on that system.
And it's a timeline.
It's a timeline. Yeah, there's a timeline and stuff. We'll be looking at that stuff also because state parks just passed here a week or so ago of going away from some of that certain time frame within the certain weeks because their parks have been filling up anyway. So they're kind of letting off on some of those fees and stuff. So we'll look at that in the future. Weed. In the weed department, I'm got scheduled booked right now to do a board meeting on the 27th at 2:00. I'll be sending out to the weed board, and so I had notification that we'll have a weed board. This one here is primarily to do for budget for 2023. And West Nile, just got notified last week. It was Thursday. There's supposed to be mailings that was supposed to come out, but I called and contacted, and he sent me an email. It's actually going to be fog and calibration tomorrow in Aberdeen. So I'll be running to get that calibrated tomorrow. Any questions?
Not hearing any. Why don't we go ahead and do item number 7, action to award the bid.
I believe I've sent out to everybody in Sylvia of the, I don't know if it's in your papers or not, but I did email everybody of the acceptance of the
No, I
low.
didn't get it till this
Oh,
morning,
oh,
so
sorry.
I didn't
It's
have
on
it.
the screen.
All right, that works. The recommendation by the engineer and myself and Sylvia at the lowest bid of $104,695.
Make a move that we accept that bid.
Motion by Waterman, second by Gable. Any comments or questions on that?
Just what was the, do you remember do you have in front of you what the other bid, it was higher, right?
It was 140. I have it.
Minutes.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Yeah.
So the bid you're awarding is to
Yep.
guarantee roofing and
Yep.
sheet metal.
Correct.
ProTech had the.
Yeah, yeah,
ProTech had it $146,880.
right, okay.
Yep.
Was that anywhere near what you had budgeted?
I budgeted for 120 on the roof, so this will at least turn around and, at least it's,
Good.
I feel comfortable now. And so with this, I was really, really nervous for everything inflated
Yeah.
and with my budget, so this should help.
That
On that,
leaves you
so.
15 for your boiler pump.
You better find a few more of these in there.
Well, the other bit, and so that will probably basically is covering the engineering fees, so.
Are we ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, that motion carries. All right. Think we're good, right?
Believe so.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Steve.
Thanks.
All right, let's move on to the highway superintendent. Rick,
Morning, Rick.
Good morning.
good morning, Rick.
It is pretty nice morning. There's no snow or rain. It's kind of nice. We've been plowing snow on a regular basis. Like last Thursday, our trucks didn't leave the shop until afternoon because visibility was so poor. And I'm not gonna send them out when you can't see. So it's one of those deals. So
It's a liability thing.
yes, it is. Well, other than plowing snow,
Bids, we've had so much wind, we've had to rip wrap a couple of spots that washed the shoulder out. There was rip wrap there, but the waves were so high, it was bouncing over the rip wrap and yeah, making a mess out of things. So we had a couple areas that we had to do that. We used up all of our rip wrap that we had in our yard, so we'll be getting some more hauled in there. The guys, when they aren't plowing snow or hauling rip wrap, they're trying to crack seal on the new pavement out by Waverly to get all the new cracks on that stretch from 212 all the way to our County Road 11. They're in the Waverly area right now, so they've still got a few miles to go. They probably won't get done crack sealing this year before the cracks close up. We've had a few blowouts on a few roads where people were hauling. And we've been out trying to patch those back together to get them sealed up. The bus barn road is just been destroyed. And we're gonna have a couple spots where we're gonna have to go and dig a few spots out and try and get it healed up a little bit so traffic can move a little better through there. That's one of the roads that Banner Engineering is working on to redo this year. So it has to make it through. We got to get it through till summer. So it's hopefully we can get it ground and repaved.
I was by there this morning and I was surprised at how bad that's gotten along there. I mean, it's really taken a hit this winter,
Yeah, it's taking a beating.
breaking up pretty bad.
Yep.
There is signage, but yes, it just continues to deteriorate.
Yep. Like I said, we plan on going up and digging a few of those spots out to try and ease the traffic pressure because they're rough. Let's see, the frost heaves have started to mellow out a little bit throughout the county. The traveling I've done, some of them are still pretty rough, but other ones have mellowed out a great deal. We plan on doing some shoulder pulling if it ever quits snowing. The motor grader operators, they've had moisture lately to help smooth up some of the gravel roads because we had a lot of dips and humps and bumps with the frost heaves and stuff. But some of the roads we still have frost in our roads. And we can't get enough decent weather to get that out of there yet. And some of those, when it doesn't freeze at night, are soft during the day. Let's see. Moving on to all the new pavement that we had last year from the wind towers, the shoulders are extremely soft. So I'm advising anybody to stay off the shoulders. Do not pull over on the shoulders during the park. You may wind up in the bottom of the ditch because that was stuff that was pulled up on or they hauled in new material and hasn't had any growth on it. Some of it's seeded, some of it still needs to be seeded. So I was over some the other day that we're gonna have to try and shape it up. I don't know if that section was seeded or not yet. I haven't talked to Wayland to see if that was, but we're gonna have to pull up and straighten it out. Some of our feedlots have been making a mess on our roads. I know it's tough this time of year with the moisture we've had, the frost going out, but you got to clean up your mess. You know, it's not the county's responsibility to come and clean up the mud and the manure on the roads. That's your responsibility. The city has changed the speed limit on the west side and north side of Lake Compesca. They reduced it down to 35 miles an hour. On our west end, it would be 4th Avenue. We plow that or take care of that all the way from 139 to Derby Downs. There's a section on the west end, roughly a half mile, which is 45 miles an hour from where the park is to 139. I'd like to change that to 35.
Yes.
Yes.
And then on the east end, about where the water tower is to our County Road 17, I think it's 60th Avenue. there's roughly a half mile in there. That's 45. I'd like to reduce that down to 35 miles an hour also. But there's a section in the middle that's 30 miles an hour. I want to leave that at 30 because the road's narrow and the houses are really close to the road. So I do not want to increase that or anything right now. There's roughly a half mile in there that is 30 miles an hour. So that's a bad spot because there's a blind curve and everything in there. So, but
Are you talking from the water tower to the park along?
yes, yep, yeah, that's 30 miles an hour in there.
there? Okay.
Yep,
And that is pretty narrow.
yes, that's
But
really
from the
narrow.
water tower east.
From the water tower east, that's what
To
you got.
60th.
Yep.
Fourth Avenue.
Yep, on 4th Avenue. That goes to our county road 17 that takes you to the prop. That's actually 45 right in there. I'd like to reduce that down to 35 because there's a blind curve there also that, and there's a bike path coming up to that. So someday the city will own all that when the bike path is completed in there. But
Yeah, I think it's less confusing if you make it consistent.
yeah,
I do too.
Yeah.
And that's,
So the process to do that,
we
have to do some sort of resolution.
Started.
It's an ordinance.
Yep, it's an
You
ordinance.
have to have
change
a
it.
public hearing and
Mhm.
so I'd like to see that process get started then.
Yep.
Whatever we need to do so that we are consistent with that around the lake. I mean, that's the city's,
Mhm.
that's what the city's tried to do here. And I think we can cooperate with them on
Yep.
that. So.
Yeah, and I've had complaints on the west end before
Mhm.
because it goes from 30 miles an hour to 45. And then there's a curve in there too. And it's a narrow road. So I'd like to see that get started. I'm gonna talk to Luke and see what we need to do to get going and stuff like that. So.
I
And
think the
that's,
sooner the better on that.
yep. And that's about all I have for my monthly report. You guys just need to get it to warm up a little bit so we can get going on things.
Rick, because I've had the question, do you know when, excuse me, you would start working on that by the bus barn, that stretch of road there?
It depends on the weather this week.
Okay.
When we can crack seal, we're gonna crack seal. And when the weather's a little bit on where we can't crack seal, we'll start working on that. So,
Some of those areas have got to be dug out.
yep. Well, not hopefully, but it should be this week depending on the weather.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Just one more quick question. You mentioned the Waverly Road with the soft shoulders.
Yes.
I've had a few complaints. I didn't notice it when I drove over it, but the culverts, did some of those culverts settle?
We've had a lot of that this year on all of them. You know, there was one spot right on the east side of Waverly. I don't know if you guys remember, but when they ground that, they came across the culvert that had buried.
Yeah.
A big culvert in there. I noticed there's a dip on that, but that should come back up as the frost and everything leaves the road.
So,
So,
you know, it's different when you drive over with a truck than it is to drive over with a car.
yep, absolutely, absolutely. There's not a lot we can do for those in the wintertime. You know, if they're bad, really bad, we could put some material in it, but I don't like doing that because then it's hard on windshields and everything else that people, you know, because the speed limit's 55 miles an hour and there's gravel on it. Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna get dinged.
And I was wondering if it was part of it was it was a nice smooth road and then you get a bump in it.
And that could be part of it, you know, because for the most part, there was some, it's not rough, but you know, when those guys were working on it, we had over 20 inches of rain last fall or last summer. And those guys worked their heinies off to get that completed before the ground got hard. So
I think
everything's wet underneath.
I think what he was somewhat referring to was it a construction problem that they were put in wrong or something?
No. It's a weather problem, most of it. So, yep.
Rick?
That's all I have.
Any other questions? So yours is also probably item number 8, action to declare the 950H wheel loader surplus to be traded.
Yep, our new loader is at Butler and they're mounting the new hitch on it. The bucket has not came yet. So,
Jeez.
but we still have the loaner that they gave us to use at no cost, sitting in our building, ready to go if we need it. And when they get the bucket, we'll just drive them back and forth and exchange them and pay the bill. So
Just to finish up that
Make a motion.
process.
To declare this one
I'll
surplus.
second that motion.
Motion and a second. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Rick.
Very good.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick.
Correct.
All right, item number 9, action to approve a contract to house inmates for Moody County. This must be one of the last ones that we were waiting for.
Yeah, I don't know for sure how many we have, but this one is Moody County and it does have the new rate of $95 per hour. Beginning April 1st.
That's not, that's not in the packet though, is it?
No, I did not send it out because it's the same as the other ones.
Okay.
I like that $95.
Nothing different. It's just the standard.
I'll make a motion to approve that then.
All right, motion by Gable,
I'll second it.
second by Johnson. Any other comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, that motion carries. All right, item number 10. Action to approve hiring of a full-time correctional officer to fill a vacancy. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. We just had one corrections officer go to be a deputy in Aurora County, so we're just looking to fill from within. We have some interest from part-time, so.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Van Duzen, second by Gable. Any other comments, questions?
And you plan on filling within,
Yeah.
not advertising. Okay, all right.
So will that require an advertisement for a part-time probably later or?
I think we're good on part-time right now.
Okay.
All right,
Good.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. Thanks,
All
Matt.
right,
That
thanks.
was easy.
That was easy.
Yes. All right, item number 11, action to approve computer equipment purchases for the auditor's office.
This is the normal cycle where I replace 3 of the workstations in my office for it would be for my staff. I've gotten a proposal from Connecting Point. The total for replacement is $5,253. And it is a budgeted item.
Move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Johnson, second by Waterman. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. Well, this item, I think, we are doing some more work on that. We'll just leave it on the agenda though for
13?
future. Yes, item number 12. 12.
Oh, 12. Okay.
Yeah. That's just a work in progress. All right, item number 13, action to approve abatement applications. Do we have any?
I have nothing for 13, 14, or 15.
All right, item number 16 then, action to approve personnel changes.
I have one, and that is for the highway department, position title maintenance 1, seasonal help, Jeff Riley. He will start at step 1, $15.26 per hour. He is an employee that Rick had last year as a seasonal employee.
Moved.
Question approved.
Motion by Gable,
Second.
second by Van Duzen. Any comments, questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that motion carries. Travel requests, didn't have any of those.
Madam Chairman,
Sure.
the number 17, when Steve was just here, he mentioned he's got to go to Aberdeen to
Yes.
calibrate,
Yes.
which might have been too late to get this in.
And, technically, that's not,
Work, it's work.
it's not any different than when he goes to surplus property in
Okay.
Huron. So unless anybody has any objections, he has to take this machine to have it calibrated.
Yeah.
It's kind of like running for parts. So I didn't know if that really needed to be approved, but I told him to mention it and he did.
Right.
So
Just wanted it done if there
Yep.
was
Yep.
something we needed to.
I'll just note it in his monthly report that he's taking the machine to be calibrated. So,
We have been notified.
yeah.
All right, public notices then. Anything we could be a quorum of commissioners at? Obviously, tonight we will be.
Zoning. Just
Zoning
people-
board
That's
it's
tonight.
just so people know what we're talking about. It's a
Yes.
zoning meeting.
Planning and zoning meeting, 6:30 out of extension. Other than that, I don't have anything. Does anyone else?
Don't.
Not hearing any old business. How about new business? Anything for the open? We do have a need to go into executive session under contracts.
Well, I did make it to the circus this weekend. My grandkids took me and they let me go. They let me come out. So
They didn't keep you.
So you're wrestling with the bears in there, Myron.
it's been a long time since I've been there. I kind of forgot about all the screaming kids and them kicking you in the back of the head, and the lightsabers whopping you alongside the head.
They didn't put you on the trapeze?
No, tried to get me on the elephant, but it's $20 to ride, so.
All right. So with that, are we ready to go into executive session?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Motion by Van Duzen, second by Gable. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
So you're going in for what?
Contractual legal counsel.
Question. So JT knows, will there be any action?
Negotiations. No, there will be nothing after. Nothing after.
Okay.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
week, JT.
Hi and bye, JT. I guess I didn't even say hello to you this